good evening to you and welcome. It's Tuesday, 25th June 2024. Peace is the path to the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. On the news this evening, Rivers State Ministry of Health hunts injured man accomplice over failed attempt to detonate explosive device in Port Harcourt. More calls against continued police barricade of council secretariats in Rivers State. Rivers State government bans tricycle operations in parts of Port Harcourt. On the foreign scene, Kenyan police accused of shooting 5 protesters dead in Nairobi. I am Constance Mega. The Rivers State Commissioner for Health, Adezuri, says there was a failed attempt to detonate an explosive device near the Presidential Hotel in Obiakpo local government area today. Well, Mrs. Ore, in an interview, condemned the act and said the person responsible got a serious injury to his arm while trying to detonate the device. Well, she asked all public and private hospitals to watch out for this person and his accomplices and detain them if they come to their facility.
While condemning such a malicious and failed attempt to disturb the peace in the state, the Rivers State Ministry of Health hereby calls on all public and privately owned medical facilities to be on the alert and look out for a young man with a traumatically dismembered upper limb, as this injury was sustained in the process of attempting to detonate the device. Such an individual and his accomplices, if presented at any of the facilities, should be immediately detained and reported to the Commissioner of Police Rivers State and the Rivers State Ministry of Health.
Well, earlier online reports say the incident happened during a protest in the area in support of the continued police barricades at council secretariats across the state. Well, the police are yet to speak on this. In the meantime, hundreds of youth in Rivers State staged a solidarity walk in support of the Nigeria Police for maintaining law and order in the state. The youths, under the umbrella of Coalition of Rivers Youths Movement and National Youth Council of Nigeria Rivers State Chapter, gathered at the Isaac Borough Park in Port Harcourt City local government area, where they later moved to the State Police Command in Port Harcourt. Well, leader of the Solidarity March, Wisabari Bani, called on the police to keep barricading the council secretariats to maintain peace and order in the state.
We are here because the Rivers Police Command in Rivers State have shown the way that the rule of law is very important. We are not here because we have not had issues with them in the past. We have always criticized them. We are here in solidarity to the Nigerian Police Force in Rivers State. Sir, our demand remains that you should further occupy our local government secretariat till judgment is served Rivers people. Have you not so? Not so!
Well, Mr. Bani further appealed to the Inspector General of Police to ensure the Rivers State Police Command is given all the support to maintain peace in the state amid the ongoing political crisis.
And we are saying to the IG of Police that the current leadership of the command in Rivers State is actually discharging their responsibility with a high level of professionalism without being biased to party A or party B. And we are calling on the Inspector General of Police to, at this point, give all the needed support to this command to ensure they occupy, secure, and dislodge any hoodlums that wants to take over our local government.
In his response, the State Commissioner of Police, Olatunji Disu, promised to ensure lives and properties are protected.
They accepted to complete the 20-something years road that had not been completed, and they assure the landowners that after
Apologies for that mix-up in the audio. Meanwhile, a public affairs analyst, Marcus Ijeoma, says the ongoing barricade of the 23 local government secretariats has disrupted local governance and affected the people. As you may know, the police had to block all council secretariats last week after the local government crisis left 2 people dead, including a police officer. But Mr. Ijeoma tells our correspondent that the presence of police officers at workplaces can decrease investor confidence.
Especially the FALGA houses a lot of other departments both federal and state. What you are saying invariably is that children that have been born in the last few days won't be able to get their birth registered. It's not just health. There's so much impact. I've stated the trauma of citing this in your work environment. It shows a sign of lack of safety and investors' confidence. Most of the raw materials that are necessary for production are situated in the local area. No sensible businessman will go into a local area without first identifying the local government that will be the main host. If the local government is absent, you have denied the people a lot of things.
Well, Mr. Ijeoma also spoke of how the police could maintain peace and order without blocking the secretariats and halting local governance and service delivery in the state.
The governor, by law, is the chief security officer of the state. The governor have appointed men and women in caretaker capacity pending when the next election will hold, because the courts have said there is no tenure elongation. You can still maintain the law and order if you allow the caretaker chairman to access his office and other relevant documents for administration and every other local government staff. So that excuse by the police is neither here nor there. It's not about law and order. In most local government, the police station is usually not far from the local government secretary.
Also, some traders in Isiokpo, Ikwere local government area are calling for an end to the continuous blockade of the council secretariat. They told our correspondents that the restriction of human and vehicular movements at the council is slowing down their businesses.
Since when this problem start, people don't they move again. Like before, machine they pass, we they sell, but now they don't block everywhere. No customer they come again.
Things here now not today normal like before. No matter say the police people don't come to secure people where they around this place, but we still they fear. Cause the way things they will know that maybe bad boys they feel come. Our business need they move. If you come out from morning to night, you go just do like that.
Since this crisis, we are not doing anything. That people that are supposed to patronize us, they will stop somewhere. Small time you run, small time you come. You don't even know where to go. Since 2 weeks now, yesterday, they are the one that put this canopy here.
Well, the residents also sued for a lasting resolution of the political crisis in Rivers State. Meanwhile, the police have blocked a section of the road from the Rumokoro roundabout to Rumodomaya police station in Obiakpo local government area. Motorists now struggle to use one section of the road, worsening traffic conditions on that axis. Well, some of the motorists spoke to our correspondent.
This one way is affecting us in terms of passengers. At times, you would like to park and drop passenger. You cannot park your vehicle. From here now to council, you spend more than 20-30 minutes. We need whoever that's in charge to open the road.
Because of that one way, it takes us time, and the diversion after the council is very long. They should please make peace and open the road for us. We are suffering.
As all this is happening, we do make accounts for the day. And if we could not be able to meet up, as all this hold up and all that thing, then they can collect the vehicle from our hand. But that we have lose our job.
Our correspondent reports that there is relative peace at the Ikwere Council Secretariat after yesterday's protest. We recall that yesterday, some of the immediate past local government chairmen held a protest at their councils, backing the continuous police barricade of the council headquarters and criticized the setting up of 23 caretaker committee chairmen by Governor Siminala Ifubara, describing it as unlawful. In another development, scores of women from Ipo community in Ikwere local government area blocked the gates of the Port Harcourt International Airport this morning. Online videos showed the protesting women making preparations to cook at the entrance of the airport. Recall that the women staged a similar protest on 27th March over noise pollution, unpaid hazard compensations, lack of good schools, power supply, and other amenities in the area, despite hosting the international airport. Still to come, Rivers State government bans tricycle operations in parts of Port Harcourt. Stay tuned. Thanks for staying with us. And now to the rest. The Rivers State government has banned the operations of tricycle riders in Ada George, Obirikwere, NTA Mboba Road, Ikwere Road and SAS Road axis of the state. The State Commissioner for Transport, Collins Onunwo, announced this in an interview with correspondent Emeka Otuka. He said the ban is to enhance safety on major roads as tricycles often obstruct traffic and cause accidents.
The issue of having keke applying routes that they don't ought to apply, such as trunk A and trunk B routes, because the law states that they can only apply trunk C routes and not of that A and B. When I mean A and B, areas like Ikwere Road, Ada George, Roma Priko, Roma Lumeni Road, Elena One Road, Ada George, and trunk C roads are streets and roads like St. John's Road, Oboguru, Tozoba, Mboshiminipo, Roma Lumeni, Psychiatric Road. These are roads that are called trunk C road that they can apply. But we have seen that they have been causing nuisance to the public.
Moving on, a philanthropist and native of Omagwa in Ikwere local government area of Rivers State, Grant Ofo, has donated 18-seater buses to 25 persons across the 13 wards. Apologies for that now. The Caretaker Committee Chairman of Okrika local government area, Ibiene Ogan, has inaugurated and assigned portfolios to the other 6 members of the committee. Princess Ogan, shortly after the committee members were administered the oath of office by the magistrate, urged them to ensure the mandate handed over to them by Governor Siminala Ifubara at the grassroots is realized. She unveiled her pet project that is christened Concerned About Prosperity, and she says it will anchor on key areas such as regular power supply, youth empowerment, agriculture, prompt payment of salaries, and women empowerment, among others.
Opportunity that will allow you to strive and contribute positively to our dear local government area. I am excited to introduce my pet project, which is Christian Concern About Prosperity. Embodies my commitment to the comprehensive development and prosperity of. Here are the key priorities of regular supply of electricity. We will work tirelessly. We will meet with the youth and share in their inspirations and aspirations. We will hold the first ever youth summit in the Okrika local government area.
Well, the Caretaker Committee Chairman, Mrs. Ogan, who said her short administration will host the first youth summit in Okrika, also promised to ensure there is a zero pothole policy to improve roads and infrastructure in the area.
And I am committed to upholding the traditions and values that you dearly cherish. To the women of Okrika local government area, I thank you for your strength, resilience, and continuous support. Your contribution to our community is supportive, and as a fellow woman, I am deeply proud to represent you and your voice. To announce the dissolution of all standing committees and task forces created by the previous administration. In the coming days, we will examine all operations and make our decisions.
Correspondent Soibio Ruwari reports that members of the Caretaker Committee that were inaugurated and assigned portfolios are Toku Obianime, Tamuno Siki Long John, Christian Kendrick, Amir Tamuno Loveday, Andy Okereke, and Daniel Isaiah. Our correspondent also reports that the chairman also appointed as secretary to the council and media aides and chiefs. While clergymen, politicians, youths, and women, council staff, among others, attended the inauguration and the Thanksgiving service in Okrika. The people of Finima community in Boni local government area of Rivers State today shut down the operations of Saipem, Chiyoda and Dewo JV, the companies handling the construction of the multi-billion dollars NLNG Train 7 project, where the protest left several workers stranded as staff buses could not pick them up. The chairman of Finima Youth Congress, FYC, Shadrach Brown, while addressing newsmen, said the contractors declined to speak to the host community despite writing a series of letters over alleged continued neglect of their responsibilities.
Through the Finima Youth Congress, a lot of bodies in the community have written to SCDJV to seeing that or ensuring that they have an engagement with the community. It is unfair, it is unjust that such a project to be going on in a community and the company would refuse very firmly to attending to the concerns of the community. At such a point, we have no other option than carry out this peaceful protest. Funny enough, it's even now most of the team heads are even beginning to call the leadership of the community to see how best we can have this whole issue discussed. Meanwhile, they had plethora of opportunities.
Well, Mr. Brown also explained some of the community's demands from the joint venture management, which includes respect for Finima as their host community, provision of Finima vendors list, among others.
And what have been our requests? Implement the Nigerian Oil and Gas Industry Content Development Act of 2010. Ensure that you comply with the Community Content Guideline of 2017. These are extant laws of the Federation that we are saying comply with. That's the Logic Act of 2010. It provides that every operator must provide an employment scheme, a training scheme. But the question is, what have we benefited as a community?
Correspondent Soibi Oruware reports that an elder in the community, Ibiwari Brown, the secretary, Finima Women, Mrs. Linda Brown, and the general secretary, Finima Youth Congress, Strong Ezekiel, spoke on the level of marginalization that the community has suffered from the SCDJV management team.
And so when SCDJV came in, LLNG brought them to Finima community to meet with our leadership. We did not have any representative here, and their project is going on as they refuse to employ those persons. They will have been marginalized. There is nothing that will tell them that will do.
We are not happy because of the situation on ground. Since the Train 7 started, all what they promised the community, precisely the women, we have not gotten any. The Train 7 is almost gone, and we are still like that. So that is why we decided to take this action so that we all will benefit from it.
Zero concern, nonchalance, profuse level of neglect, and it's painful.
Well, our correspondent reports that no officials of the SCDJV were on ground to respond to inquiries from journalists over the allegations raised by the community. And on the international scene, the Kenya Medical Association has accused the police of shooting at least 5 people to death in Nairobi during huge protests against planned tax increases. Well, earlier, part of the Kenyan parliament was on fire after protesters opposed to new tax laws breached the parliament complex. Well, that's the news, but before we go, let's take a look at the highlights. You heard that the Rivers State Ministry of Health has announced that an injured man and his accomplice should be detained and reported to the police for attempting to detonate an explosive device in Port Harcourt this morning. And the Rivers State government has banned tricycle operations in parts of Port Harcourt. On the foreign scene, Kenyan police have been accused of shooting 5 protesters dead in Nairobi. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808 721 7215. I am Constance Mega. Thank you so much for listening.